Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about something incredibly tough, something that unfortunately many people go through. It is that gut-wrenching moment when the person you love tells you they need time to think. Those words can feel like a punch to the stomach, can't they? They hang in the air, filled with uncertainty and a million unanswered questions. You start replaying every conversation, every argument, every laugh, trying to pinpoint where things went wrong. You wonder, is this it? Is it over? For me, those words marked the beginning of the end, though I didn't know it at the time. My wife, let's call her Sarah, and I had been together for 8 years. We were high school sweethearts who had built a life together. We had our ups and downs, like any couple, but I truly believed we were solid. I thought we were a team, that we could overcome anything as long as we had each other. One Tuesday evening, everything changed. Sarah came home from work looking distant. I asked her what was wrong, and she just shook her head. Later that night, as we were getting ready for bed, she dropped the bombshell. "I need some time to think," she said, her voice barely a whisper. "I feel lost, and I need space to figure myself out." My heart sank. Space? What do you mean, space? Space from me? From us? I was confused, hurt, and scared. She insisted it wasn't about me, that it was her own internal struggle. She said she needed to stay with her sister for a little while to clear her head. I wanted to fight it, to beg her to stay, but I also wanted to respect her needs. If she said she needed time, maybe that's what I had to give her. So reluctantly, I agreed. I helped her pack a small bag, gave her a hug that felt cold and one-sided, and watched her drive away. The first few days were agonizing. The house felt so empty, so quiet. Every little thing reminded me of her. Her favorite mug left by the sink, the scent of her perfume on the pillows, the shows we used to watch together. I kept replaying her words in my head. I need to figure myself out. I told myself to be patient, to give her the space she asked for. I focused on work, hit the gym, and tried to keep my mind busy. I sent her a few texts, simple things like, "Hope you're okay," and "Thinking of you," but her replies were always short and vague. A week went by, and the anxiety was eating me alive. I suggested we meet up for coffee just to talk. She agreed, but when we met, she was even more distant than before. She talked about feeling disconnected, about not knowing what she wanted in life. She said she still loved me, but she wasn't in love with me. Every word felt like another twist of the knife. I asked her if there was someone else. She looked me straight in the eye and said, "No, of course not. This is about me, not anyone else." And a part of me, the part that was desperate to believe her, chose to trust those words. But something in my gut told me a different story. It was a nagging feeling I couldn't shake. A few days later, a mutual friend called me. He sounded hesitant, but he said he felt I needed to know. He'd seen Sarah's car parked outside a particular apartment complex multiple times, late at night. A complex where one of her colleagues from work lived. A guy she had started mentioning more and more in the months leading up to our break. My world shattered. Suddenly everything clicked into place. The late nights at the office, the new work friend she was always texting, her sudden need for space. It wasn't about her finding herself. It was about her being with someone else. She hadn't needed time to think. She'd needed time to test drive a new relationship without the guilt of officially ending ours. The confrontation was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. I drove to her sister's house, where she was supposed to be staying, and she wasn't there. I called her, and when she answered, I could hear a man's voice in the background. I didn't even have to say anything. The silence on my end of the line was enough. She started crying, admitting everything. She had been seeing her colleague for months. Needing time to think was just her cowardly way of phasing me out while she solidified her new relationship. The pain of that discovery is something I wouldn't wish on anyone. It's a double betrayal. It's not just the infidelity. It's the lies, the manipulation, the fact that she let me hang on, hoping and waiting while she was already moving on. She didn't give me the respect of a clean break. She used my love and my trust for her as a safety net. In the aftermath, I was a wreck. I felt foolish, naive, and completely broken. How could I have missed the signs? How could the person I trusted most in the world do this to me? The anger and the sadness were overwhelming. It felt like the life we built was just a lie. But here's the thing I want to share with all of you who might be going through something similar. You will get through this. It's a slow and painful process, but recovery is possible. The first step for me was accepting the truth, as brutal as it was. I had to stop making excuses for her and see the situation for what it was. I leaned on my friends and family like never before. I let myself be vulnerable and talk about the pain. I also sought professional help. Talking to a therapist gave me the tools to process the betrayal and to start rebuilding my self-worth, which had been completely demolished. It helped me understand that her actions were a reflection of her character, not a measure of my value. Slowly, day by day, I started to heal. I rediscovered hobbies I had let slide. I reconnected with friends. I started to focus on myself, not as a half of a couple, but as a whole person. I learned that my happiness couldn't be dependent on someone else. If you're hearing those words, "I need time to think," my advice is to protect your heart. While it can sometimes be a genuine request, it is often, as in my case, a smokescreen. Be hopeful, but be realistic. Pay attention to the actions, not just the words. And most importantly, know your worth. You deserve honesty, respect, and a partner who is sure about you. You should never be an option or a backup plan. The end of a relationship, especially one that ends in betrayal, feels like the end of the world. But it's not. It's the end of a chapter. And it gives you the opportunity to write a new one, a better one, where you are the main character. It's a chance to build a life that is authentically yours, filled with people who genuinely love and respect you. The pain you're feeling is valid, but it will not last forever. You are stronger than you think, and there is a bright future waiting for you on the other side of this. Thank you so much for listening to my story. I know it was heavy, but I hope that sharing it can help someone else who might be feeling lost and alone in a similar situation. If you've been through something like this, feel free to share your experience in the comments. Let's support each other. Don't forget to like this video if it resonated with you, and subscribe to the channel for more content. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.